So guys, welcome to another No Guidance podcast brought to you guys by yours truly, BERADA. I got two special guests, actually a co-host. You guys seen him before, Monday. Then King Bobby Brooks on Instagram, everything.
What's happening? Yep, yeah. Bobby Brooks, King Brooks, a.k.a. Mr. Northwest, North fan, finest.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, shit, so I think the biggest thing that everybody wants to know is how you started making music. Just like, what was the, beginning, like, when it came to, like, I guess even a rap career or music in general? Like, when did you start wanting to,
Started wanting to make music. When I was young, I would, like, talking, like, third, fourth grade, just writing poetry and shit like that. Like how your teachers would have you, like, write, like we're working on stanzas today or something like that, right? And I just found an interest within that. And then that connected with just my love for music already, listening to, so many different genres, rap, country, rock, alternative, because, during that time it was Green Day, fucking Blink-182, and Eminem, 50 Cent, everything was out, right? So that kind of all just, like, blended together. And then started writing, took a little hiatus, and then around, like, high school, we, like, freestyling in the parking lot and shit like that, freestyling at lunch.
All the homies and shit.
Exactly, talking to shit, and then it took me going to L.A., in like 2013, and really just being out there by myself. I was like visiting family and shit like that, but being out there by myself. And Ty Dolla $ign's Paranoid came on, and I'm like, damn, like, and everyone's slapping that shit back then, like, especially out in LA too. And I'm like, man, if he can do it, I can do it, So I just sat down, brought up a fucking beat on YouTube, started writing to it, and then that was history, like came back, hit the studio. And just been writing ever since, recording ever since.
So 2013, and then you just took off? Damn.
Yep.
So how was your experiences when it came to studios and all that? Like, I guess, because I'm pretty sure you had to deal with, like, the home studios and shit,
Right, yeah.
So what would you say is, like, the biggest things you learned about, like, studio and trying to find, like, like a specific place to, like, key things to look out for, I guess?
Yeah, one thing I learned pretty quickly was it didn't matter the aesthetics of the setup, more so like the equipment.
Gotcha.
And like the plugins and the DAW software and everything like that, right? Cause like we was recording in my bro's bedroom. We had like fucking them holder trays when you go to Starbucks and you get those the cardboard trays and shit like that. We had them like up on the wall and stuff like that, and like fake like styrofoam that you get like from like Amazon packages or some shit like that, right? Just to start off with. And then I went to Robert Lang Studios up in Shoreline, and that was like my first introduction to like a major studio, like a real, like a real setup. Like bands are coming here, like we're micing up drums and guitars and all this other shit.
Gotcha.
But I mean, even still then, like, granted, we could use the, like the analog board and shit like that, and that was great. But at the same time, it just mattered on what software we had and shit like that,
Gotcha.
and like the mics and shit like that. So, yep.
No, I got you. And so, you're an artist for the most part. I mean, was there ever a time where you trying to like cross over, type of thing, like to production or engineering or any of that?
No, it was always wanted to be an artist. I just wanted the engineering and the production, like being like a producer. I just wanted that knowledge. That way, it's almost like when you're a point guard, you play sports, right? When you're a point guard, you want to know your wing's position. You want to know what the center's doing. You want to know what your power forward is doing. That way, you better understand your position and how you can move around the court and shit like that. So it's like the same thing when it came to the music. Like I want to know every other position. That way, I know when I step into the booth, I know how to lay this track because I know the engineer's gonna go in and then do this, this, and this to it. You know what I'm saying? So, yep.
Kind of like a team and everything.
Exactly.
I think one thing for me too is like when it came to all this music shit, I noticed you can't really just work by yourself,
right?
Because you got to work with the team. Like I say for you, I feel like you were the first like actual artist that pulled up with like a team, and you had.
Hey, shout out to Bob.
Yeah, you guys, all them hitting me up and shit. And I was just like, okay, so they're really about it type thing.
Yep.
So, what would you say like is the main things to look for when it comes to building a team?
That's a good question. I think we got to go all the way back to like yourself, because like when I was first starting out, from 2013 to now, every single day has been, you know, we're strategizing. You know, like what can we get done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, repeat. You know, everything got to be strategic. Whether like we go out to like clubs or we hit the studio, or we do a photo shoot, anything like that, right? Once I had that down and knew like myself in that realm, you know, then that's when I could start like building my team, because like now I know what to expect. Like I know what to expect from me, and now I know what I need and I know what I'm missing. That way I can kind of like fill in those gaps and shit like that. And then just making sure, you know, just everyone is on the same page and shit like that, you know. Like I said, it's a team effort. It's not a dictatorship. Yeah. You know, so it's you know, it's a collective. Like we all kind of in this together.
Got you. I guess also on top of that, what are like key traits of like your team? Like I guess you could even say with Cam and like all them. Like how what made you choose them out of, you know, any other producer or any other like, you know, like type of thing. So how did you do that?
Yeah. We'll start with Cam. Me and Cam, we go back. I want to say we met back in 2018, something like that, 2018, through one of the homies, Big Jones, Kid Jones. Now, shout out to Kid Jones. You know, tap in. He introduced us at a studio up in Mount Lake Terrace. Case Macklin, shout out to him too. And then we kind of lost contact for a little bit, and then over this last summer, you know, we're just working on new singles, new projects and shit like that. Gotcha. And I'm like, damn, like who is the most, like honestly, like dead ass, who's the most fire producer that I know out here? And I was like, Cam. So hit Cam and I'm like, hey bro, come to the studio session, you know, have all my bros in from out of town and shit like that, and everything kind of just meshed together, and you know, we still rocking now. My partner Dakota, my assistant, man, we've been rocking since 9th grade. You know, so like he's seen like the entire transition, like everything, you know, from me, like my first song, you know, and all of that. Yeah, we got linked back in, what was it, like a year and a half ago, something like that. And just knowing his background and just like how he moves and, you know, his mind and shit like that, I'm like, man, you'd be like a perfect, you know, assistant manager, something like that. You know, like I need someone that can kind of help handle the tasks that I can't get to, but still understand like me and like what, you know, we need to get done and what I need to get done too. You know, like that's where like he knows me, you know, so.
Like, you know? Having a team is crazy important.
Hella important. You can't do it, like, just like you said, bro, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, you can't do it,
You know?
But also too, bro, like, shoot, what's your creative process like? You know what I mean? Like, like say like if you got a beat from Cam or somebody, like, bro, like how do you approach it? Like what, you know?
Man, I will, like, let's say Cam sends me a beat tonight. Like, if he sent me a beat right now, I'm driving home, the 30 minutes that it takes for me to drive home, I got a hook and a verse already written. Type shit. Like, it'll really be like that. Or sometimes it could take me a little bit more time. It's really just depending on the vibe, you know, like, just the feel of everything. But yeah, man, like I write every single day. You know, like there's not a day that I don't write. It's like putting up shots and shit like that.
Exactly.
If you're a basketball player.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, yep.
I think what's filthy too is like, you know, when you were talking about, you know, as a point guard, like, or just bringing the analogies to basketball and everything. I feel like with the team, it's just like that, like you were saying.
100%.
Like maybe the point guard is the artist, and then you got different people for other shit. You know, type of thing. And I think, shoot, when it comes down to it, you know, like that'll take you further than like anything else, because you know, like a lot of people, I feel like nowadays, and maybe like Washington or I mean I could just say here, it's like they don't understand the whole side of this business of this music shit.
Exactly.
You know? So what would you say, like through your career, you know, from 2013 to now, like what would you say you learned when it comes to just dealing with other people, like, you know, just like, because this industry, we got to work around like different people, you know. So what would you say?
Man, yeah, like there's a lot of egos. You know, everybody got an ego, right? Some bigger than others, some more malleable than others. But I would say the biggest thing when it comes to like the business side is the networking aspect. You know, you got to be out there. Like I started out. We're gonna go back to 2013 again. I started out printing like a mashup of my songs onto a CD burned off of like an old MacBook Pro, you know? and then hitting the fucking pavement literally and passing them out through town, passing them out of my school, passing them out at the mall, you know, and I'm doing all of that. So like I just took that, copied that into now, you know, we're in Seattle, we're still networking, we're still shaking hands and shit like that. You know, we're still in the scene, like, you know, meeting everyone, going to different studios, like, you know, like your guys and shit like that. Yeah, because it's like it's really not about what you know, but it's about like who you know, like for real. And it's a cliche saying, but it's 100% true. You know what I'm saying? And then just like working with different people, it's like, man, I'm someone that I try to be more understanding, like see where like someone is coming from, especially like in this industry, because so many people are creatives, and so like they might be seeing the canvas in a different way that I'm not seeing it, you know. So I'm trying to see it through their lens, but still trying to keep my focus on like where I'm trying to get to, you know. So I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, I got you. I got you. And so you said like you traveled down to LA or Cali 2013, right?
Yeah.
Was there what would you say is the biggest like difference between Seattle versus like LA or like other like big, you know, musical like, you know, like places where they got actual like foundation and shit? What'd you say is different?
Like what you just said, foundation, foundation. Because you go to places like New York, Memphis, Chicago, Texas, LA, pretty much every like major city, there's a foundation when it comes to music, just in general. Me and one of the homies, we was chopping it up about this the other day. Like you go to Memphis, Tennessee, you got like Motown. You know, even Atlanta, you got like Motown. You know, you got soul, funk, that whole era. You go back to New York, you got the beginning of like you got breakdancing. You got like the beginning of hip hop, literally. You know, jazz and shit like that. You go to L.A., you got funk again. You know what I'm saying? You go to Texas, you got fucking DJ Screw and everything that they was doing and shit like that, right? So, but you come to Seattle, there's really not anything like that. Like honestly, our biggest influence within the music industry was rock. Back in like late 90s, mid 90s, 2000s and shit like that, like grunge and shit. And honestly, I feel like that kind of died out. So like going back to like the foundation, like we just don't have that, you know, which trickles down into the like the community aspect. So it's like every man for himself when you don't have a foundation, because it's like nothing to go off of and shit like that. You know, everyone's just trying to like get it on their own and everything, right?
Yeah, big facts.
So, you know, and I'm someone that's like, okay, here's a problem. How can we solve that? You know, how can we bring a solution to that? And I feel like a solution would be, you know, what we're doing right now. You know, everyone coming together, networking, working together. Even if people don't fuck with each other, you know, like we still on some let's share the wealth. You know, because like that's how Atlanta is really on top right now. You know, like there's still that Southern hospitality, even though if they don't fuck with each other, you know, in the streets like that. You know, like hey, this is business. At the end of the day, we're all trying to get to the bag and everything. So. Yeah.
You gotta create that, you know, that sense of community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So everybody's just together. Because I feel like, you know, shoot, like we got a few gatekeepers that are up there, but I feel like if we all come together collectively, I mean, shoot, they're gonna have no choice but to respect us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, shoot, it's gonna be more than us than them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's facts. And so, say like I guess Washington or Pacific Northwest, or you know, because I guess Oregon counts, and you know Washington. I'll just say that because you know the Bay, you know NorCal, they got their own thing. So for us as an upcoming artist, you know, we don't have a lot of, you know, money for it because we don't have labels and all this shit. So what would you say, coming from, you know, ground zero to where you're at now, what would you say is the biggest marketing tactic that worked for you? Because, you know, you did say, like, CDs, you know, all that.
Right,
I mean,
right.
But you're not doing it now. So, like, you know, so what was something that it was like, oh, shit, that's actually maybe smart to do that?
Running ads, you know, on social media, but, like, not just doing some, like, because, like, when you, like, let's say we go to Instagram, you post something, and then you click start campaign. They have, like, a generated campaign based off, of, like, your posts and shit like that, right? Excuse me. Not going off of that, but actually strategically going back to your Spotify, looking at who is playing your music the most, like which city is playing your music, which country, and then going back to Instagram and then putting that down in like, okay, so boom, I'm gonna put this in Tennessee, boom, I'm gonna put this in South Carolina, boom, I'm gonna put this here, right? And then going off of that way it's really like it's target marketing. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? and like Google ads too, ads on YouTube. You know, just ads just in general. You can put ads anywhere. You can put ads on fucking Tinder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know, fucking anywhere, bro. So yeah, just running that because like you got to get your face out there. Everything is so saturated now. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you learn this like through school or was it like Google or like how'd you learn?
Honestly, yeah, I dropped out of school. I finished high school, but I dropped out of college and shit like that. So no, yeah, definitely didn't learn this in college. Learned this just from just trial and error. You know, like just doing my own research and looking at other artists such as like Nipsey and Kevin Gates and Wiz Khalifa and Currency and you know all of them that like really pioneered a way in their time, you know, to like be seen and shit like that, you know, and then just molding it to, you know, what I got going on.
Got you. So, also along the lines of, you know, as an upcoming artist in Washington, would you say, what would you say when it comes to, because I'm trying to think, with $1,000, say, because I was trying to think of a scenario, say, because I told Monday this before, say you're an upcoming artist, brand new to the game.
Yeah.
$1,000 off to the side for music because it's something that you just like, damn, like maybe I want to do this. What would you say, like, what would you do? Knowing the knowledge that you got, $1,000 as an artist, what would you do?
And like I'm like fresh into it?
First step, yeah. Like you don't even know nothing. Like, shit, maybe you wrote or some shit, but like, like type shit. What would you do?
Man, come tap into the mob. We can get you right. You know, that's what I tell them. Nah, I'm playing.
$1,000?
Yeah, we gonna get you right. Nah, I'm playing. With $1,000, I would say, find you a beat. Yeah, find you a beat. Find a little studio that you can go to, and it's not gonna cost you too much. You know, record your first song, get that mixed and mastered. Make sure if you get the beat off of online, buy the beat right out, buy like your stems, MP3 file, and WAV file, because you know you want all those three, right? That way you could also market it, sell it, you know, and it's not gonna come back like just in case it blows up or some shit like that. You know, people can't come back and sue you. Get a photo shoot done. That way you got some like photos and content. Shoot a video and push that video out. You know, to that song.
And the thing that all the things you said, it's like people could find someone that's like on a low budget too. Yeah, exactly. So like if you guys are thinking like, oh damn, like a video is gonna cost $400, mixing and master is gonna cost $100, beats gonna this. The thing is, I say the best thing to do is find local people. Yeah, 100%. That's what I would say.
Exactly. You know, you could even shoot that shit on an iPhone, bro. Like Soulja Boy was shooting that shit back in like 2010 or something like that. You know, off of whatever iPhone was out then. You know, what we got now, like a lot of our pictures, you know, we can shoot on iPhones. You know, so.
There's a lot more resources now too. Like we got shit like TikTok and all that. Like you could post something on there and go viral. So
social
right,
media, exactly. That's social media, bro.
Yeah, social media.
I mean, shit. Bobby was on that TikTok earlier. I seen the fucking where he put his mouth on.
Yeah, you seen that shit?
I was like,
that Renaissance
shit. Oh, Bobby wants to be on TikTok now. Yeah, man. Okay.
Man, like. With my TikTok, bro, I just be having fun, bro. Like I want it to be a separate place other than my music. My music is still on there, right? But I just want to just like let loose and you know have a good time.
And plus, it's just like motherfuckers don't know like we're also human at the end of the day. Like
exactly.
as an artist, as a producer, as like everything else, that's just a title. Exactly. They gotta understand like we're also like a human at the end of the day. We
that helps people connect with you though too though. Like fans and potential fans.
Exactly.
They see the personal side of you, something that they can see in them. Yeah, that helps even more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what my partner be saying all the time too.
That's what I'm learning too. Like you know what I mean? Like shoot, you can't be the artist all the time. You gotta, you got
be human.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And shit. On top of like what Monday was just saying, like just fans. What would you say was like that point where you're just like, damn, so I actually do gotta think about fans and shit. Because with music, like for me, in the beginning I was just like, yep, I'm making music, everybody's gonna love this type shit. So like, you know, you said Google ads, but I'm talking about like those one-on-one connections or for your fans to actually do like, you know, mess with your music and you as a person, you know?
Right. What's the question?
So like, what would you say like was your best way to interact with people, I guess, in a sense? Like, you know, like, because there's also, like, social media. There's, I mean, meeting people in person. You know, how are you able to create that impression, like, a good impression with people? Like, when it came to social media, all these things.
I would say, I mean, like I started out with like doing like house parties, like house shows and shit like that. So it was like a direct connection to potential fans that turned into fans. So like allowing them, like honestly just performing, like allowing people to like see you, you know, like you got to be seen, and then once they see you, like once you get done after the show, you know, like don't let your ego be too big, like, hey man, we just killed this shit, you feel me, like we finna go party, like, hey man, I can't talk to you, I can't, you know, do none of that, like I'm out of here. Don't be doing that shit. Like go shake hands, you feel me, be like, hey, thank you for coming, man, I appreciate it, you know, what's your name, what's your IG, bro, or what you do for work, what you do this that, right? That way you actually connect, like be people, you know, be a person, like connect with people, you know what I'm saying? So I would say that's the best way to go about it.
Because house shows go crazy,
stupid.
I never even know.
What's probably one shoot, like probably one of your best memories of a house show, like something that went crazy that went down? Because probably most of the craziest stuff I've seen perform has been like from house shows. Yeah.
I would say this it was at one of my bros, like early on, like way out in like Marysville, and we did that house show, but like there was like just girls just twerking everywhere, you know, and we young and shit like that, so it's like twerking was a hella big deal. Like, hey, she throwing ass, you feel me? So like girls just twerking like on the countertops and shit like that, you feel me? Like people standing on what's that? It's like that lip of like the top cabinet that so it's like you have like the cabinet and then like the ceiling right there, like people like standing on top of there. You know what I'm talking about?
Shit, I think I know, but I don't know what it's called though.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but just like people standing on there and shit like that. You feel me? Popping bottles, you know, shit like that.
Wild, I feel like you get like probably the most like real energy probably from house shows. I feel
100%.
From my experience, just thinking about that, because like people are just there having fun, and I feel like they really like be trying to connect with the music and shit. That's what I feel like. Exactly.
Yeah, like just like you said, people are there to like turn up already. So like if your music is on some turn up shit, it's gonna go crazy. You know, you're gonna get a direct feedback. You know, that's why I love doing shows so much, because you get that direct feedback with a new song or something like that. You know.
So you're talking about performances. What's the best shoe to perform in? I see it with all the like. You know,
best shoe to perform in?
Like top 5. What'd you say? Top 5 recommended, either comfortability, you know, mobility, all that shit.
I'd say. Man, what did I perform in last? I think I performed in. What was it? What are the 5s? I performed in the Off-White 5s. My last performance. Damn. It was decent, you know.
Got the breathability, I know that, with that hole.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, some Vans or like some Cortezes, bro.
Vans, bro, I'm trying to tell you.
I'm telling you, because you have like it's just comfortable, you know, like especially like the low top ones, it's comfortable, you can move around. I'd be like 2-stepping or like, you know, just jigging and shit like that. So, you know, Jordans can sometimes stop that because they just be too sticky sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So you talking about like, because you guys trying to moonwalk and shit or some shit.
Right, yeah, you know. Dancing and shit.
And when it comes to stage presence, how big is that? Like did you have like stage fright or anything when it came to, you know, performing on stage? Or
100%.
So how did you overcome that?
Just doing it. Just doing it over and over and over again. Like I'm someone that is like when it came to any aspects of my life, like whatever like I was afraid of, I wanted to tackle that head on, because like it was in my ego. Now, why the fuck am I afraid of this thing? I'm gonna go straight at it, and then I'm gonna get through it. I'm not gonna be afraid anymore. You know, just like my defense mechanisms and shit. So like when it came to performing, man, my first show, bro, like I was so fucking nervous. I was like shaking and shit, like dead ass shaking. I went outside the venue. I was doing sprints up and down the sidewalk just to get it out, because I'd never felt anything like that before. You know, it was like going into battle or some shit. And then going on stage, as soon as I stepped on, it was like the same feeling that I get now. Like I just zone out, the beat starts playing, and it's like I go into this fucking realm that is like the realm that I created, my music, you know, and I just zone out, you know, start going. But yeah, going back to your question, man, just conquering that fear, you know.
Got you. Damn, because I feel like when it came to me, like performing, I mean, I only started, like my first show was actually like what? Last year probably.
Okay.
So when was your first show? Like
2015.
2015.
Yeah,
so
first show.
That's like what?
2014.
What'd you say your favorite venue to perform
Oh.
I know Monday was talking about that too.
Yeah.
Man, the most recent one that we did Numos. Numos. Yeah, the sound was hella dope there. What else? Yeah, I would say that's my favorite one.
Gotcha. All right. So, and then where's that at?
Numos is like right in like Capitol Hill.
Yeah, it's Capitol.
Yeah, because I don't really know a lot of venues like that. Because I'm just like in the studio.
Right, exactly.
I'm not really exploring, but
Exactly. You about to be 21 though. You need to get out
I
there.
just turned 21.
Oh, yeah, so yeah,
Oh, for real?
Couple days ago.
Hey, happy belated.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yes, Sirski.
Yeah. Yeah, legally, you know, we could go to this spot and pick up everything.
There you go. Yes, sir.
No, that's how it was, bro. Like, but damn, fuck, man, I just forgot what we were talking about.
Venues.
Yeah, venues, yeah.
Oh shit, let me turn this shit off. All right, venues. Shit, bro, I had that question, bro. Fuck, Monday, you got one? I forgot.
Yeah, bro. I mean, shoot, I say, bro, what's probably your favorite? Actually, no, scratch that. I heard you talk about like you listen to different genres and shit like that. Like, who inspires you as far as like artist wise, or even just in general, people in general. Who inspires you now, or just who inspired you in general?
Man, in general, the first guy that came to mind, Nipsey, off top. I'm not even gonna say that's cliche. A lot of people is claiming him after his death and stuff like that. After his passing, that weren't really fucking with him. Before that. Yeah. But I was thinking about this the other day. I got the pleasure to see him and Wiz Khalifa actually, see them kind of from the ground up, the mixtape days, before the marathon days, before Kush and Orange Juice and shit like that. And like being on that piff. You know what I'm saying? Like them days, and like watching them grow up to like not like where they are now. So, I would say like those two definitely inspired me the most. Like Wiz like taught me how to just work every single day, and like what progress and success looks like, and that it's not just all, like popping bottles and smoking and all that shit. Like there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes and shit like that now I incorporate. Also Kevin Gates, definitely. Inspired like my earlier sounds and shit like that, just like expressing emotion and shit like that. Young Thug off top, inspiring just like the creativity, like just be you. You know what I'm saying? Like he birthed a whole fucking wave of just be you artists. You know what I'm saying?
And the sound and everything.
The sound and everything, bro. Fucking, it's crazy. Artists or also artists like Kehinde Wiley, who's a African painter. Who's like his murals are just like beautiful, and I mean, just art inspires me like that. It goes back into my music or my business or whatever. So, yep.
Yeah, because I remember like shoot when Nip did like those $100 mixtapes.
Yeah, that was for mailbox money.
Yeah. Like man, that really changed the game. 100%. I feel like what Nip did was he pretty much like he showed artists, how to handle the business side. Yep. You know what I mean? Because he was independent all the way, and like he really took that risk on himself. Exactly. And that inspired a lot of people. I don't think he probably even knew how many people he inspired by just doing something like that. Exactly. Because that was out of left field. Because the industry was different than it is now. There wasn't as many independents. 100%. Yeah, if he was independent, it was like, damn, like you really got to grind for it. But yeah, bro, like shoot, that's what it was. That's crazy though.
Yeah. I know, like when I saw that, I was like, wait, hold on, he's charging $100 for what? Yeah. Oh, that's wild. I mean, being a fan, okay, I might pay that. I'm gonna pay that, but like, why are you charging $100? Like, I wanted to figure out that and like his reasoning for it. Like it's how do I want to say this? You can when you value your art, when you know how much it's really worth, you can value it at anything. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys could even fucking put a hourly studio session rate is going to be $300 because what we have is top notch, and I know I'm going to mix the fuck out of this shit. Yeah. Like I know this beat is going to be fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the same mentality that Nip had with that $100 mixtape for mailbox money. But yeah. I mean, we even taking the same approach, like with the whole just being independent and shit like that. Like we can do so much, especially with this team. Like going back to what we was talking about, having a team behind us. Yeah, you could do so much more than just with a label and shit.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you already have like an LLC and all that?
Yep.
So talk about the steps in for that, because I know a lot of people, they don't understand the whole side of being independent, going with the label. So you took the route of being independent. So could you expand on that?
Yeah, so had gotten that LLC, Bobby Brooks Music LLC, and that's really just to solidify like the whole business side of everything. Like now we can start developing business credit. We can start developing like assets on that side and shit like that, right? Fucking get vehicles, pay for travel, studio time, video shoots, everything like that, right? And then write it all off at the end of the day because like it's now a business, rather if you were under a label, you can't do none of that. And honestly, if you're under a label, a lot of people don't know this, you be seeing all these rappers and shit like that with all this ice on, all this jewelry and shit like that. One, all that ice is depreciating because it's already, diamonds are worthless. They're like one of the most worthless gems and people don't know that. But people see it on like these chains and TV and shit like that. So you see it like on a big pedestal. So you're like, oh yeah, that's worth a lot. It's not worth anything. Gold is really where really where it's at. And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But going back to what I was saying, so all these labels will give these artists like let's say $150,000 a check or something like that, right? That $150,000 needs to come right back to them plus probably interest. You know, off of anything you sell. So like that money that you just got, that you just spent on a fucking car or a private plane or some jewelry, man, that's dumb as hell because it's coming right back to them, you know? It's not even your money to play with, you know? So
especially if you put an album out and you don't sell, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because you got to recoup all that.
100%.
And then some usually just to even, break even most of the time.
Exactly.
A lot of artists.
That's crazy because I feel like even like think about Uzi when he was, when back in 2015 maybe when he was like posting on Instagram like damn let my label make or release music and all that. It's kind of crazy that like the label could really have a control like a hold of you really like
100%, they can shelf you.
And that I don't know like what do you think the reason is for that like when it comes down to it?
Man, it's like
because Uzi was popping at that time too.
100%. But like,
so it's just like
you got to look at it from like this standpoint. Like going back to business, like this music is all as creative as it is. It's as much business as it is creative. And Uzi, in their eyes, is a product. You know, he's not a person. That's a product. Let's say Jordans aren't selling for whatever reason. These ones like this colorway ain't going. Putting it on the shelf until fucking little Gucci flip flop comes out rocking that shit, and now it's fucking back popular. Now we can release that shit again, So it's just like that,
See, I think that was kind of weird though because like in that, I swear at like 2015 he was still popping. So that's why I never really understood it. But I mean, I guess we'll never really know until maybe he tells his side.
Exactly. We don't know his sales. We don't know his numbers or anything like that. We just know that hey, we fuck with him because the sound is dope. So
actually, what's your thoughts on labels?
Kind of like the same. Like, I really wouldn't go to one unless they were really offering something that like my team and I couldn't accomplish ourselves, and we can accomplish a fucking lot, so like it would take a lot for, us to actually accept a label deal,
Gotcha.
So yeah, I definitely stay in the independent route for now.
And what made you like actually stay independent, like compared to like, I feel like, I mean, I don't know how easy it is to get to a label, but I mean, being at this, place that you're at, why stay independent?
Man, all money in, no money out. Shout out to Nip. Keeping your money in your pocket, keeping your money in your community and shit like that. Everything that we spend is gonna be coming right back to us. It's not going to fucking whoever's on the label that I haven't even met. What I'm saying, that gives no fuck about the music. You know what I'm saying? And it just feels better that way too. I don't know. Maybe it's like the man in me, but like creating something with your hands and then selling it and then getting that money right back. And then seeing like one, how much you got for it, and then also seeing the impact that what you just created left, bro, there's no better feeling, and I would hate for a label to come in and like disrupt that, because like I think that's part of like the workflow too, It's the creative process and then also the business side, and then it's a whole fucking circle, So Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a label can be they can take control of your whole creative and all your image and all that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you're independent, it's like, all right, I know what I want to do. I know who I am. This is how I'm presented. Which sometimes a label could be like, nah, we want you to be this type of artist right here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We want you do wild shit, whatever. Because when you sign to them, they basically own you. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, you a slave to the system.
Yeah, which is why some people will get shelved as well because they'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Damn.
100%.
There's a lot of like little tricks and shit that happen. That's with signing shit. Cause like when you sign say if you sign like a deal or something too. Say like if it was us, like say if we have a studio that we already have, if we require the free, the label would be like, nah, we're gonna put you in this studio that probably costs $1,000 a day just to get you in debt.
Exactly.
They be like, nah, we got the studio for you, right? Yeah, there's like
That's fucked. That's like. I don't know. I feel like after hearing all this shit, and I'm already knowing like labels are trying to just make money off of you.
You're an investment.
They're a bank.
Yeah, a bank. Yeah,
Yeah.
But not even that, like Kodak, his label didn't want him to drop Super Gremlin. He just dropped it.
Yeah.
For real?
Imagine
Exactly.
that, your label holding on for fucking number one.
Yeah, and nowadays a lot of head of labels like they be out of touch. They don't know what's hot and what's
What
not.
sounds good
You
and
know what I
shit.
mean? So it's like
They in the office all day. They don't be listening to this type of music and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's facts.
that's why you got artists popping off on TikTok and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Damn. Because they just hear it, so they're like, oh, that sounds good, so it's like good music.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like with even all the leaks, like Blueberry Faygo, Waukesha, like all that shit on TikTok, bro, that shit blew up because it was a leak song that sounded good.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I feel like ears don't lie. But
Exactly.
what'd you say, as an upcoming artist in, Washington and all that, what does it take to actually like quote unquote blow up or actually like, I guess be considered on that pedestal of the people that's up there?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think it goes back to like the networking again, just being out there, really connecting with the community and everything like that. Like especially in Washington, because like Seattle has a tendency to not support until you blow up and you are too far gone to even support anymore, on a local level. So for the time being, just connected with the community and everything. Also making quality music, like I know we're in a time of instant gratification and everything. So meaning like everything, you put something out, you want something in return right now, or, I mean, even doing that is going to cause like the lack of quality in a product and shit like that. Like let's say Jordans create a new fucking colorway today, they drop it tomorrow, without any testing, without any, anything like that. That shoe's gonna fall apart, It's just like with the music. Like when you create something today, put it out tomorrow, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be quality, so like
Gotcha.
making sure that everything you put out is quality, and I think that goes for any state that you in, connecting with the team, getting that team behind you and shit like that, getting that power pack behind you, making the right connections out of state too, because there's a way bigger world than Seattle, and a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people haven't ever traveled outside of Seattle, and Seattle's such a small city, like it's really almost like a town
compared to everything else. Like,
exactly,
that's facts.
exactly. Like, get out the country too. You know what I'm saying? Just network anywhere you can go and network. Get your music out there.
Yeah. And shit, we're probably gonna wrap it up soon. But last question for you: what's your goal for 2022? As in, like, either projects or just even like. Actually, no. This is the way I always break it down with people. So, what would you say is a goal, physically and mentally, and then for business wise, your music? So, what would you say?
Like physically and mentally, like not having to deal with music and stuff.
Yeah, just be you. Just you. Like, so because I try to make it where like this is kind of like a timestamp. 2022. Okay, hold yourself accountable. We'll listen to it maybe a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, and we'll be like, okay, that's the shit we were on. Okay. So what'd you say? Because I'm all about self improvement. So so what'd you say? Physically, as in like working out, anything. When it comes to that, mentally, as in shit, like I guess maybe like meditating, reading. I mean,
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And then business side. Yep.
I would say physically, Definitely eating better, like cleansing the body more, just watching what I put into my body, less toxins, more alkaline-based like diets and stuff like that, you know, fruits, vegetables, but still being particular on like which fruits, which vegetables, and shit like that. And then, you know, still working out, doing all of that, staying fit, you know, mind, body, spirit. And then mentally, definitely connecting more just with the spirit side, you know what I'm saying? Connecting more just with myself, closing the door on traumas, pain, all of that shit, that like anything that's holding me back, you know, closing the door on that, like resolving that and then moving forward, you know, that way all the blessings that are coming to me can make their way to me without getting blocked and shit like that. And then for business and music, man, tour. We get on tour. We get on the road. Hitting the fucking road. And fucking a lot more music videos, a lot more songs, hit songs. The music just keeps getting better and better every single time we step in. So, yeah, we on a fucking mission.
No, hey, you're making me excited. You just talking about all this confidence shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready too. Shit.
Hell yeah.
But shit. Appreciate you again, Bobby Brooks.
Yep.
I mean, shout out your Instagram, Snap, whatever, everything you want. Recruit.
Yeah, Bobby Brooks, aka King Brooks, aka Mr. Norfan. Tap in on Instagram at King Bobby Brooks. Again, on TikTok, there's gonna be King Bobby Brooks too. Yeah, tap in. We got a lot of things coming. Mob shit. Let's get it.
You want to do your shout outs too, Cam? And if you want, I mean, just
Let's go, kid.
yeah, if you want, yeah.
Hey,
We coming in the
follow me, Dakota_Zelmer.
Yes, sir.
Mob shit.
Yeah.
Mob shit.
Cam.
West Coast Cam. IG is at West Coast Cam 206.
Yeah, you guys
Yes,
heard
sir.
it. You
Come
guys
on.
heard it.
Tap in with the fucking mob taking over, you know.
Well,
Yep.
shit. Thanks again.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
your whole team, you know, just pulling up, all that. Make sure you guys tune in every Sunday, 8 a.m., every Sunday, Wednesday. And then on Thursdays, we actually do tutorials. So maybe you might be interested. We might figure out some shit.
Let me know.
But appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys tune in. So yeah, catch you. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Yep.